Welcome to Book Buddies, the podcast full of book reviews, rankings, and all sorts of activities with books. I'm Louisa Hammond, self-proclaimed book dragon with a Bachelor of Arts in English with an emphasis in creative writing, as well as theater. Last month, I reread the original Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan, and today, I'm going to rank them. Before I get into the list, though, a couple of things. First of all, this is my opinion, so my ranking might not match yours. I would also like to add that this reread was only my second time reading through this series, with my first time having been during middle school. So, do with that information as you will. With all that said now, grab some ambrosia and nectar, get comfortable, and let's get started. At number 5, we have The Sea of Monsters. I should make it clear that I don't think that this is a bad book at all. I enjoy it a lot and would give it 4 out of 5 stars. This is just a case where I don't love it as much as some of the others. This book is the shortest in this series, and it does feel like that a little bit, and not in a great way. Can't really explain it, I just feel that way, if you know what I mean. Another reason this book isn't my favorite is that Grover is one of my favorite characters in this series, and I feel as though Tyson and Clarice weren't as good travel companions or characters as Grover in this book. However, there is a lot I love about this book, and these ultimately outweigh the things I didn't love as much to give me a great time. I love all the parallels with the Odyssey, especially as that was one of the stories I read for my world literature class in college, making the reread even more fun. And I would say that outside of the final book, The Sea of Monsters has the best ending in the series in my opinion, with the Golden Fleece working its magic a little too well, and it brings Thalia back to life, which adds some complications to the Great Prophecy. Ultimately, even though this ranks number 5 for me, this is still a great book, which just goes to show how strong the original series ultimately is. Next up is The Battle of the Labyrinth. Just like with The Sea of Monsters, I really like this book. I'm just not as big of a fan of it compared to the books higher up on this list. The main reason this book is lower is that I feel like it doesn't get to bring the best new additions, which I will explain when I talk about each of my top 3 books. Despite this, like with The Sea of Monsters, this is a great book with a lot to love. The setup to the quest with Annabeth receiving her first quest and how much it means to her, and that we get to see more of the original trio together, as we didn't get a lot of that in the previous 2 books. The labyrinth setting is also really fun and interesting, and I think the book overall does a great job building up to the finale of the original series. In the middle of this list, we have the middle book in the series, The Titan's Curse. This book stands out in a way, as it is the only one that takes place during December, as opposed to the summer. And it's a Christmas book in a way, which is fun. It also introduces a bunch of new characters, such as the D'Angelos, the Hunters of Artemis, and Rachel Elizabeth Dare, which is a reason why this book is so loved by the Percy Jackson community. Thalia plays a notable part in this book, and while I prefer Annabeth as a character and companion for Percy, it was fun getting to see more of her. Finally, once again, I love all the twists and payoffs, such as Thalia becoming a hunter of Artemis, making it impossible for the prophecy to be about her, and Nico becoming a nemesis for Percy, as well as a potential for the half-blood in the Great Prophecy to be about, instead of Percy. Let's move on to number 2, which is The Last Olympian. This is the final book in the original series, and dang was it a good one. I will say that was sort of funny reading The Last Olympian immediately after the Battle of the Labyrinth, because the latter ends with Percy celebrating his 15th birthday, and The Last Olympian begins with Percy freaking out about turning 16 in a few days. Man, does time fly. Anyway, I love how this immediately throws us into the action, and it does not stop until the end. Like I mentioned earlier, this book also has my favorite ending of the original series, with the Great Prophecy finally coming true and Percy saving the world. The payoffs are also awesome, with Rachel becoming the Oracle, Percy getting to celebrate his birthday in peace, and him and Annabeth finally becoming a couple. Overall, this is an awesome book that I love a lot, but it's not my absolute favorite in this series. That would be the one that started it all, which is The Lightning Thief. I adore the world building of this book, and getting to know all the characters for the first time is such a treat. The writing style for this book and the entire series is a lot of fun. We also probably get the most time with our main trio of Percy, Grover, and Annabeth, which is a friendship and dynamic I absolutely adore. I love the journey and all of the locations that they get to go on to their quest to the underworld, from Auntie M's to the Lotus Casino, and like the rest of the series, the twists and reveals are just so good. And that's why it's my favorite of this phenomenal series. So that's my ranking of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. If you enjoyed listening, please share this with your friends and consider following me. I'm Louisa Hammond, and I'll see you next time.